What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about God's purpose for the purposeless. And for most of my life, I struggled with the God's purpose was for me and what He wanted me to do. I was going through life aimlessly and God was silent. The silence was just deafening. And my life was empty and meaningless. I got to the point in my life where I was like, is this it? Is this all we get in life? So I decided to give up and seek out and indulge every kind of worldly desire to satisfy the emptiness I had. But it never did, and in fact, I felt more empty and lost than I ever had. And I just kept going downhill from there. Friends, have you ever felt like this? Well, today we're going to tackle this together right after this. I hope you'll join us this Sunday here at Lynchburg First Baptist Church. Our Sunday school starts from 10 to 11 and church is from 11 to 12. We're located at 177 North Mechanic Street in Lynchburg, Tennessee. If you'd like to reach out to me and ask me any questions or anything about the church, you can contact me at itisfinished3, the letter N5 at gmail.com. Itisfinished3, the letter N5 at gmail.com. Hope to see you this Sunday. Welcome back. We're going to begin in Mark chapter 4, verse 24 through 29. And it reads, "Then he added, 'Pay close attention to what you hear. The closer you listen, the more understanding you will be given, and you will receive even more. To those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given. But for those who are not listening, even what little understanding they have will be taken away from them.' Jesus also said, 'The kingdom of God is like a farmer who scattered seed on the ground. Night and day, while he's asleep or awake, the seed sprouts and grows, but he does not understand how it happens. The earth produces the crop on its own. First a leaf blade pushes through, then the heads of wheat are formed, and finally the grain ripens. And as soon as the grain is ready, the farmer comes and harvests it with a sickle, for the harvest time has come.'" Now in verse 24, Jesus is talking about His Word. If you want answers from the Lord, if you want understanding from Him, first, you must diligently seek Him. And the way you do that is by reading His Word and trying to gain understanding from it. The pitfall a lot of people fall into is when they don't receive everything they want from God right away. Whether it be answers or guidance or just really to hear from Him. See, and then they end up throwing the Bible down and walking away. See, God is not going to overwhelm you. He will never give you any more than you can handle. But a lot of us, including myself at times, we get arrogant and think we can handle it all at once. We think God is being unfair, so we don't stay in the Word long enough to get anything out of it. I promise you, God is not being unfair. He knows you and how much you can handle at that moment. So slow down, let Him give you what you need little by little. Everything God has to offer starts off for everyone, including me, as a little trickle. But before you know it, it becomes a rushing river. Now again in verse 26, Jesus also said, 25, "To those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given. But for those who are not listening, even what little understanding they have will be taken away from them." Now Jesus is following what He previously said up with a caveat. Those who listen to His teachings and put His commands into practice will gain more understanding, and the more they will hear from God. But those who do not listen will follow their own advice and their own conclusions about this life. And when their own deductions of life fall through, and they most certainly will, then what little understanding they have will be taken away from them. Meaning they will keep searching and searching for answers for life's problems, but they will not find any. According to psychologytoday.com, the number one cause for depression is stressors in one's life. This can include, but not limited to, the loss of a loved one, a job loss, and loneliness. How many people ask why? Why? Or get angry when a family member passes away? Or when they lose their job? Or when they're in deep loneliness? Or how many people are just at a loss when there's so much evil in the world? And there's so much loss and devastation. See, they're looking for answers, including myself at times. And the only place you're going to find answers is seeking Jesus and his guidance. Without him, you will look for answers in the wrong places. Meaning, sadly, that a lot of people turn to drugs or the bottle to provide them comfort and healing. Some just walk away entirely. And some do not even get advice that just don't feel like it leads to anything. If you go down that route, all it will do is take what little you have away. Now we continue reading in verse 26 through 29. And Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is like a farmer who scattered seed on the ground. Night and day, while he's asleep or awake, the seed sprouts and grows, but he does not understand how it happens. The earth produces crops on its own. First, the leaf blade pushes through, then the heads of wheat are formed, and finally the grain ripens. And as soon as the grain is ready, the farmer comes to harvest it with the sickle, for the harvest time has come." Jesus here is giving an illustration to go more detail of what he's talking about. Here the plant grows slowly at first. The seed then shoots out from the dirt. Then the head of wheat is formed, and finally the plant is fully grown. That is how it is with us in our walk with God, as I described earlier. But what I want you to understand, and what I want you to notice here, is that the farmer doesn't harvest the wheat till it is fully matured. Meaning, in the same way, you will not leave earth and you will not go to the next step in your life until you're ready for it, or until you're fully matured, until you fully take on God's purpose. Till you accomplish the purpose God has for you in this life, you aren't going anywhere. And that's his promise. Meaning that you can be sure that anyone who seeks Jesus and learns from him will have a purpose. They will continue to grow and learn from him while fulfilling the plan he has for them in their life. Now, as you're growing in the Lord, sometimes you won't feel it. You won't recognize that it's happening to you. But one day you'll look back and see how far you've come and how much you've grown. And let me tell you, this is an amazing day indeed. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope you'll pray for me that God will help me bring what you need to hear on a daily basis. And I also pray this reaches and helps someone today, and that it will be a blessing to you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. God bless.